Special Report.
Black holes are one of the strangest things in existence.
Neil Armstrong may have seen extraterrestrials on the moon.
When he spies a discernible shape.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer. Because too many others know what's happening out there. And no one, no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is me, Rob Yox, back on Saturday night, and this is a pregame show for the event which we have tomorrow, 11 a.m. It is an all-day event. It is Full Spectrum Universe's milestone first-year anniversary event, and we call it a milestone event because not a lot of shows make it through the first year. The first year is the most difficult. It's difficult to get guests. So what this show is actually going to be about today is a little bit of my journey of getting through that first year. And tomorrow is going to be the celebration of that whole culmination of that year with some of the greatest speakers that I've had the absolute honor to talk to and to have them be a part of this universe, which is the Full Spectrum Universe. So first things first, one of the things we did was, even though this is a free event, we set up tickets. Why did we set up tickets? Because if you get and go purchase yourself a ticket, which will be in the comments in just a few seconds, when we do actual paid events, the people who are on that email list and had purchased the free tickets will be entitled to monetary value of percentages off of the paid event. So do yourself a favor, get on that email list, because that email list is also not only going to go with the events themselves, we're going to be doing private shows here and there. So you'll also be privy to that information as well. It is something that we do here. We do free webinars all the time, and we're actually going to start doing a lot more webinars. And it's going to be good to get on that list, because that list is going to give you the ability to get to those points. We don't like to hold things back from people, but at the same time, we want to create a listing so we can go ahead and have everybody together as a community, and we all feel like a community. So with that being said, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee real quick. Everyone who knows me knows that I use the giant cup, and I almost just spilt it. So today, and this is going to sound crazy, but today I'm setting up for this event. I'm running around. I walk outside, and I'm helping my fiance with the laundry down the stairs. And as I hit the second to last step, the stair breaks in half, and I fall down, or like I fall through a little bit. So this is the universe saying that you're going to be doing this the hard way. And I gladly smiled and said, very well, if this is the way it's going to be. So I was a little bit behind on doing things today, which is okay, because it's not tomorrow, and tomorrow is the most important for sure. But let's get to tomorrow a little bit and explain what we have going on. So I'm going to bring it up for you guys. So first and foremost, we have myself. I am the Grand Master of Ceremonies. We have two Masters of Ceremonies. We have Greg Bornstein and Clarence Mitchell. Greg Bornstein is from the podcast Open Loops. Clarence Mitchell is from the podcast of Closer Encounters. Omar Faizi will be doing double time on this particular one. He is going to be an MC as well as a presenter. Really, really great guy. He is the podcast host of Watchers Talk, and there is actually a whole community of Watchers Talk. So we are sponsored by Forgotten Origins, which is the Out of Australia theory, Stephen and Evan Strong. They also have our Alien Ancestry, which is where they do these events every month. Super informative, super crazy, and it really dives into this where did we come from, and what is our past? You know, one of the things that I like to say is a man who doesn't know his past or knows where he comes from is a man lost. So being as it may, these gentlemen put up such a great, they put up such great content. I can't stay away. You know, for a small price, we get to see a lot of their stuff. It's really great. We also have, they are one of the keynote speakers. The other keynote speaker is Paul Wallace, who has the two books, Escaping from Eden and The Scars of Eden. One, a really, really big contributor, like basically contributor to the work that we do. If I love to follow in this man's footsteps. He is truly remarkable, and his writing is absolutely stellar. His presentations are captivating. You hang on every word. So he is also a keynote speaker. Wonderful, wonderful gentleman. We have after that we have Geraldine Orozco. She is basically has the GeraldineOrozco.com, which is where she helps people who have been either abducted or have been part of hybridization programs. Really, really great. She's a little soft spoken, but her information is absolutely stellar. Absolutely stellar. So we have Aggie Nost, who is part of Broadcast Team Alpha. Him and Nori Love have an incredible show that they do on Tuesday nights. He is also part of the Mastermind Connection, which is a collection of people trying to use their inner forces to create themselves within the higher self. Really, really great. Then we have Neil Gower, who's from Portal to Ascensions, one of the utmost best at putting these events on. So what better way to hopefully bask in his glory by bringing him into this event itself? He is truly, truly a remarkable gentleman. His presentations are bar none. I mean, this dude is so well versed in so many things. I consider him a brother. He's a really great guy, really great friend. And of course, we have Omar Faizi from Watchers Talk, who is also a tremendous friend to the show. I like to think of all of us as sort of a collective, me, him, Clarence, Greg, and of course with Neil and Paul and Stephen and Evan, we are somewhat of a group. We kind of we use each other's work to explain further on what we do, and it really helps us in the long run because we have the utmost respect for each other, and it's truly, truly a great collective of people. The meeting of the minds, that is like the Excalibur of the minds. You know what I mean? They are truly remarkable. Next, we have Melinda Williams, who everybody knows is one of my partners in crime when we talk about the the psychic side, the tarot side, the medium side, when we do paranormal investigations. She's going to be bringing us a ton of information on what she does, which maybe some people are, they know and some people don't. But she did her first event I think it was last month or a few weeks ago with myself and Omar, and she was absolutely stellar. I can't wait to get her on the mic again. And last but not least, this man will be actually kicking the show off, we have Philip Kinsella. Philip Kinsella has his story of abduction, but I believe he's going to be doing a specific topic. Truly, truly remarkable gentleman. And I mean, this event is jam-packed. So it's tomorrow, Sunday. If you're in New York, it's 11 a.m. start time. If you're in Los Angeles, it's an 8 a.m. start time. London is 4 p.m. Sydney is 1 a.m. And Perth, which is also Australia, is 11 p.m. So, guys, get with it. It's going to be so amazing. We're going to have so much fun. It's not just going to be a regular type of event, right? What we do is we allotted essentially 45 minutes to an hour for everybody to do their presentation. But after that, the people who are watching the event will be able to ask questions as we go. An MC will come on, and that MC will pose your questions. I allotted 15 minutes in between each speaker. First off, because of any technical issues, whatever the case may be, but also to give the people a chance to really engage with the speakers. It's going to be a very, very interactive event. We're going to have a lot of fun. I've got a lot of different other things coming up within that event. We're going to have a totally different kickoff to the whole thing. We're going to be there for an hour. A lot of the MCs. It's going to be amazing. Hello, Denise. How are you? I can't wait to see you there tomorrow. I know your questions are going to be super inquisitive, and I can't wait. Also, we also going to have, there was a lot of people who sent in, and we're going to have somewhat of a montage. We're going to break it up properly, so it's not just a half-hour long montage of people saying happy anniversary. We're also going to have an extra 45 minutes, and that extra 45 minutes is going to be some of the people that are a part of Full Spectrum Network, which actually is Full Spectrum Universe. I was planning on changing it to Full Spectrum Network, but then I decided against it. Why? Because, Full Spectrum Universe encompasses what I do. It is the network. It is everything. So I decided that it would be better off to just keep it all Full Spectrum Universe, because Really, that's what we are. We are a universe. We are a collective. Within that collective, we have so many great minds. And those great minds help me to forge my future and help me with my path and exploring and explaining and loving life more than I've ever been able to. This past year for me has been, how do I say it? It's been a completely wild ride, right? It's been completely amazing. Completely amazing. I have I have pushed myself to my limits intellectually, physically. It has been such an eye-opening year. Now, we're going to get to how this year came about because who knows? Nobody really knows the backstory. I don't really go into that backstory much because when I'm on and doing a show like this, I am not the important one. It's usually the guest or the information. So, with that being said, I'm going to get into a little bit of what this story or where the story begins, right? So, as most know me, they know that I am a researcher. What I do is I can sit in front of the computer for hours on end, and I mean hours and hours and hours. And what I do is I read, and I try and figure out what I'm reading so I can put it into context with the world today. And that to me is it's a lot. I like to do that stuff. I find that fun. Some don't. So I classify myself as a historian, which is fun. We have a good time. Hello, Julius. It has been a long, long time. Welcome to the pregame show. And, it's just been such a wild thing to see where we've come from, what the current events are. It's just like, for a long time, we were talking about disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. What did we find out when we approached this disclosure and we were all waiting for it on the edge of our seats? Everybody was waiting. What do we find out? Nothing burger. It was a nothing burger. All they told us was that they didn't know what it was. And, that stuff is important because we know that they probably know. And if they don't know, then that means that the work that we do, figuring out what the abduction was, how the abduction happened, and all that is actually more credible than anything they'll ever put out. So, it's a wild ride. It's kind of like the other side of information that you see on the mainstream. And we try and break that mold. We don't want to be like anything you've ever seen. We're a little wild, we're a little loose, but we love it. We love it because it's not so much, it is the information, but it's also about the people telling you that information. So we try and encompass the human condition when we look at that information itself. What's going on, Ken Allen? And I love the Wizards Table and that podcast, and I support you as well. You guys should definitely check that out on RU Media beforehand. And that's another thing. We want to give out thank yous to people. Thank you to everybody who listened for the last year. Thank you to everybody who supported us, especially guys like David Wolliver and Eric McGill and RU Media. They were instrumental, and I know it's been a little bit back and forth. If I've been on am I on this week? Am I not on next week? Whatever the case may be, that's on me. That's not on them. That's on me. And that's because there's been a lot of stuff shifting and happening for us in the background, which will come to light very shortly. But for right now, we have to keep it capped because we don't know exactly the full story yet of where it's going to lead to. So we're trying to be a little bit cryptic when we talk about it, but people who kind of stay within the inside know what's happening. But we've been doing a lot of events too, and the events, I mean, guys, when I tell you the events that we have coming up in the next 30 days, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. We kicked it off last month with the Seed event. The Seed event was an absolute success. We had over 1,600 people see it within the first 24 hours. And it wasn't even the amount of people that saw it. It was the energy that it created. This event, it was like nothing we've ever done. The energy behind it, the energy within the people, and the ability to bring to people information that isn't mainstream like big pharma stuff. This is all natural, all holistic, and we put it all out there. You guys can find that on Portal to Ascension's YouTube and Watchers Talk YouTube. Truly, truly incredible show. So that leads us to the July 11th event, like I said, which is our first year anniversary. We've been here for a year, and how we got started. So before I started this show, I was working overnights in a warehouse, picking up boxes that ranged from 5 pounds to 150 pounds. It used to deal with food and perishables and non perishables, getting them ready to be put on a truck and shipped across the country. So, I mean, there were nights that I had to pick up 3,240 pound things of provolone cheese. I don't know if you've ever seen 140 pounds of provolone cheese, but it is the biggest, longest rod you've ever seen. It's like what they hang in the delis and the delicatessens across the top as a display piece. The thing was so big. I I had when I had the 32nd one, I had to pick it up over my head and put it on top of other boxes so it fit all in one shipment. One of the craziest nights of my life. But that's what I was doing. So what happens then, right? So after that, we all get locked in. Everybody gets laid off. We all get locked in. Wild time, something we've never experienced. Nobody here has ever experienced something like that, and it was really a trying time, right? And a lot of people, it was bad for a lot of people. It really was. I have to say that I turned that net negative to a net positive. I was sitting home in the very beginning doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing, had no direction, just getting so frustrated with the boredom, the nothing to do. It was nothing to do. So I thought to myself, how can I do something, right? So I start reading more and I get into back into the history and reading history and current events and politics and all that. And then I'm cruising the internet and I see other people talking about stuff and saying things, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that. I kind of don't. And I had been a guest host on so many different shows that I was like, you know what? I could probably do my own thing. I could probably do my own thing. So I redirected all my energy. I took everything, every fiber of my being to create the first show, which was the mission statement. Just like astronauts have a mission statement, and this was called Full Spectrum Universe, I decided that I was going to put all of my efforts into making this something that I truly loved, truly loved. And at that moment, during that show, I felt I was actually shaking when I finished. And I'm not sure if it was my nerves or it was the sheer excitement that I got to get up in front of everybody and speak my piece and say what I thought and not be relegated to somebody else's topic and just speaking about it. I got to create basically my own narrative, my own way of looking at it, and it was something special. To me, it was special. I I really really enjoyed it. So I decided to get episode 2, which was a lot of fun. Episode 2 was great. We had a good time. It wasn't crazy, but episode 2 was the big 3. And what did that mean by the big 3? It was myself, Omar, who's going to be at the event tomorrow. He's been here since the inception of the show, and another friend of the podcast. His name is Leo, and we decided to take a panel discussion, each bring topics to the table and let the others answer it. I thought it was sort of not innovative, but something different, right? Something a little bit different. So we did that, and it was all right. It was pretty good. We did all right. It went a little longer than I expected, and I'm telling you, I could go through every show like this because I overanalyze everything I say, everything I do. This has actually shown me that I've got to let go a little bit. This show has made it so that I let go a little. It's amazing what this has done for me, both mentally and emotionally. It really has, and that's why I'm coming to you tonight to kind of pregame this, because tomorrow is going to be an extension of all that. It's going to be an extension for me, hopefully the speakers, and hopefully for the audience. You get to see what we've really put into motion. That Full Spectrum Universe it's not just a show. It's an idea. It's an idea. And I don't want to call it a lifestyle because we're definitely not impacting, not impacting everybody in the day on a day to day, but it's a movement. What I mean by a movement, it's you know, it's a I'm trying to say this the right way. By being a movement, what we're doing is we're collecting and creating a community, a place that is absolutely safe to explore any and all ideas. And it's important because there's a lot of places where we can't have discussions like this anymore. And I think it ultimately important to discuss those topics because not only do we tell you information, but we listen to information too. We are both parts are equally as important. And I really feel that we've run. I want to get the collected minds together and create a community where everybody has a voice and everybody can say what they feel, run topics off of each other, and really dive in and research because I really feel that knowledge is the key. Knowledge is the key. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. is when we start Eastern Standard Time. It's, the first hour is going to be us working out the kinks. So 12 p.m. is the actual presentation start time. And Denise is absolutely right when she says there is no question that is stupid. Everyone makes me feel comfortable. That is the purpose of what we do. This is why we do what we do. There's nothing is off limits. That is the moniker of this show. With knowledge and passion, nothing is off limits because you know what? We want to be able to reach everybody. If there's a topic you like, you tell me, I'll research it and bring it to you. But I'm doing a service to the people who watch it. They are not they're not fans, they're friends. And friends come together and discuss things. They're not fans and they're not followers. They are family. I mean, they're family and they're friends. And reason why they're friends and family is because together, when we work in unison with each other, whether it be discussing things or putting our brains together to figure out a solution for the future, we are ultimately creating humanity's greatest gift. We're creating it again and again and again and again. Humanity's greatest gift is empathy and information. We can create it, we can debunk it, we can implement it, we can use it as a resource, we can help others and spread the word of information. It's so powerful, so powerful. And the exploration of that human condition is another reason why we're here. I was actually thinking of Full Spectrum Universe taking on a different certain shows are going to be all about music and the music that, people who do music, DJs, whatever the case may be. Some of it will be conscious music, but some of it won't be. Some of it will just be the artist and why the artist does what they do. Because music is a huge influence in everybody's life. If you don't listen to music, then you listen to spoken word or poetry, which has a rhythm, right? So that rhythm is it touches you on a fundamental level. It really does. And I think it's ultimately important that we explore that, and what that really does. I think it's so great. It's so great. So, you know, I was working overnights and then I decided to redirect my energy. So by episode 3, I had actually met a woman by the name of Melinda. A lot of people know who Melinda is. She's been here quite a few times. And I saw something, a connection with her. I saw it. And it wasn't in like the physical or the mental. It was like an ether real connection. She was doing something. I was on board with it. And I loved the way she did it. And she was doing readings for people. And it was amazing the way that she was so spot on with these people. And she was able to channel this ability inside of her. It was remarkable. Stopped me dead in my tracks. I said, you know what? I've got to have her on the show. I've got to have her on the show. So we got her on. And the first time we did readings, through comments, things like that. The second time she came on, We were actually bringing people into the studio one by one, so she could talk to them face to face, because the reaction from those people when they got that reading was, there was happy, there was sad, it was a whole range of emotions, a whole range. But it felt as though we were doing good work. We were helping people, because you know what? There's everybody. If you say that this isn't you, what I'm going to say right now, then you're probably lying to yourself and me. Anybody who isn't afraid of the unknown or what the future possibly holds, or has some sort of anxiety about it, is kidding themselves. Let's be honest. Everybody worries about the future. Only now that I've gone through meditation and ways to raise my vibration have I worried a little less about the future. Doesn't mean I still don't. I still worry about it, just not as much maybe as I used to. I know by the work that we do and putting that out there in the universe, hopefully the universe will see fit to return some of that karmatic debt to me in a way. Who knows how it's going to return, but hopefully it does. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I I still got to do for people, because it's ultimately important. You know, one of the things that Omar says a lot, and it's called pay it forward. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of the events we do are free, is because we want to pay it forward. When we pay it forward, we give this knowledge willingly and wholeheartedly to whoever wants to, digest that knowledge, whoever wants to take it in. It's on whoever, it's on that person. So what's one of the ways that we pay it forward? And that's important. That's important because, and again, sometimes we will do a paid event, and that's only to support the ability to do this full time and to make sure that the platforms stay up and where they're supposed to be, to help and do those free, all those free ones are free because we want to give it to people. Sometimes it's not that we ask for it in return. We hope that they would. We ask for donations of people who want to help out. And, tomorrow will just the same. We're going to ask for donations if you have it. If you don't, doesn't matter. Here's the info. Take the info, do what you will with it, and run with it. Because I ultimately think that humanity, if humanity is to re-evolve to where it used to be, information is the key. Why is information the key? Because to know where we're going is to know where we came from, right? And a man who doesn't know where he comes from is a man lost, or a woman. They're lost. So if we know where we came from, we know what the future holds. Not only that, history repeats itself. I could say these monikers that or these old wives' tale sayings that you've heard forever. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That, of course, that one works. We're looking at that right now. Everybody wants to attack everybody else. If they don't like the information you're putting out, what do? They attack you personally. They don't try and, talk about the counterpoint to that specific, fact. They attack you personally, right? And if we're on the internet and they don't like what we're saying, what do? They just shut us down. And, it's been a real struggle for open-minded, intellectual speaking, and people going out there and saying that they need to, they need to say this, they need to say that. You have to guard your words, because words are powerful. They know it and we know it, right? So by me saying, well, they know it, we know, what do I mean? Well, we know it because we try and tell you the words that will only empower you, right? And they know it because they try and get you hooked on the words that are only going to bring your frequency down. Because when your frequency is down, they know that they got you. They know that they got you, and they got you good too. But I'll tell you what, we'll never be a part of that. I like to call myself the ultimate outsider. There's a reason for that. And it looks like I'm glitching a little bit. Hello, right? I'm the ultimate outsider because I don't conform to their lines of thinking or their lanes of thinking. I think outside the box. I think outside the cube even. I think outside the sphere. I try. Sometimes, you know what? I can't say that all the time because we're all the same. We all have our ups and downs and left and rights, and Who cares? Who cares? We're all people. We're all people. And I know I'm making a statement by saying this, but it's we're at this point now that if we don't stand up for what we believe in or stand up for our future, like nobody will. There's a lot of people who are just caught. They're caught up in what this one's saying, what that one's saying. How do you feel about that? I mean, I don't feel good about that. I want people to wake up. I want people to see that our potential is ultimately limitless. Don't cap it. Don't cap it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's head to this harmonious future that we all talk about together, hand in hand. Every race, color, creed, I don't care. I don't care. I want you all there. Because if we're not all there, then we're surely all going to fall. And I'm not prepared for that. I'm not prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to be a part of that. I'm not prepared for any of that. And I know this is just a pregame, guys. I'm not going to go super long tonight, but I haven't spoken to anybody in a while with you guys, and I wanted to come out and say hi. Ultimately, I just wanted to come out and be like, hey, look, I'm still here. I know I haven't done any lives in a while. It's only because we've been in preparation for tomorrow. So, I hope it goes off without a hitch. But if it, sometimes live broadcasting has those hitches. And if it does, just bear with us. But ultimately, it's tomorrow is going to be our stamp on what we've achieved as a community for, with Full Spectrum Universe. This is what it's going to be. That's why I've brought on some of the people that I respect the most in this world. I respect all the people that are coming on, all of them. I hold them in such high regards. They're the best at what they do. They're the best in their fields. And you know what? Some of the people may have had some of them on, but I don't care. I think that they are so amazing. They're so amazing. And we get to share tomorrow together, all of us. While you guys will be listening out there, I'll be sitting here with my headphones on, listening as well, because I can't wait to hear them speak. All of them. What's going on? I'm just going to say hi to people. What's going on, Ghost Sisters, Denise, Debbie, Eve? What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we're having a good time. We're just talking. I use an app called Stereo, and Stereo is like it's like a place where they have like heads, just heads, and we talk on the heads, and we do shows that way. Then we do podcasts. So right now, what I'm doing is sort of like a stereo. It's like a stereo podcast because I'm just talking. I'm ranting. I'm raving. I'm a lunatic, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm here for it, But I was actually supposed to have a co-host. Omar was supposed to come on with me tonight. I hope he's all right. He didn't come in, but it's all right. We're just, we're doing what we do, and some of the people we were sponsored by Stephen and Evan Strong, right? Stephen and Evan Strong sponsored this event. They are Forgotten Origins, which is the Out of Australia theory, and they also have Our Alien Ancestry, which is a series of summits that they do, or conferences that they do every month. And I've been to a few of them now. Ultimate stuff. Like, they are on the cutting edge of where we came from as a species. And if you haven't seen some of their work, tune in tomorrow for the freebie, because they're going to be talking about, I believe, Uluru. And that was December 21st of last year. And we did something that is essentially paradigm shifting, where we ushered in a prophecy that's going to be coming to light. I'll let them speak about it, or whatever they're going to speak about. I didn't set any guidelines for the speakers on this event. There might not be any congruity to what we're all talking about tomorrow, but that's not what I wanted. What I wanted for people to just bring whatever they wanted to the table. This is their moment where they can say, you know what? I want to talk about this. That's it. And just go with it. Just go with it, because that's going to give some of the best work we've seen. Like, this is going to usher in some great stuff. And guys, if you think that tomorrow is going to be a big day, wait till August. Wait till August. Do you? I mean, does anybody really know what's going on in August with me, with Omar and myself, with Full Spectrum Universe and Watchers Talk, and what we're putting together for the people, free? Does anybody know? I don't know if you know, but it's a 55 speaker 5-day event, absolutely free to the people. Free. We have gone. We have gotten so many great people to speak at this event. Some you know, and some you don't. But by the time we finish, you'll know everybody. Because we're all the same. I am you. You are me. We're a projection of each other. We are all part of this infinite consciousness. We're all part of it. And what is the difference, right? You're experiencing your reality through the perception of your eyes. That's the only difference. We are all one, all of us. And I can go into the esoteric meanings of as above, so below. You know, we are the micro while space is the macro. You know, we are all expressions of this infinite consciousness. But it's just what it is. We're all here to experience. And then when we're finished experiencing, we're going to bring this knowledge back to the source. And that source told me a while back that this is what I'm meant to do. This is where I'm meant to be. So through all trials and tribulations, like I said, I fell through a step today, landed completely crazy. My ankle's swollen. I'm hurting, but I don't care. The show must go on. We're here. We're here. And I'm not saying that to gain any sympathy or any of that. No. What I'm telling you is that this is my purpose. And if it's not my purpose, when I speak to Angie Briers and when I go on a hero's journey, she'll tell me whether, I'm going to be in communion with my higher self, and that's good, or my guides, and they'll tell me what my purpose is. And I can't wait to find that out. I can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So after a few episodes, I started to gain a little bit of traction with what we were doing at Full Spectrum Universe. And I decided that we're going to keep going. We're just going to keep mulling through episodes. And I know a lot of the episodes that you've seen right now haven't been so interview based, right? I think after tomorrow's event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing you information and maybe doing presentations as well. So the episodes may only be an hour, maybe 45 minutes, but I want you to be able to get something out of every episode. We're still going to be doing interviews still, but we're going to focus on the information. And I think it's time to do that. Every once in a while, I used to do episodes that were just info based, no guest, but this is going to be a little bit different too, because when a guest does come on, they're going to be associated with what we're talking about. We're going to make it more of a free-for-all and not so much of an interview format, where it's going to be two people discussing a subject with each other and you, the audience. I want this to be like one of the most interactive shows on radio or on the internet. I want the audience to be ultimately involved, like 100%. 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that, everybody in the comments with my ankle, but don't worry. We're going to be at the top of our game tomorrow. And thank God with this job, I get to sit in a chair. So all I'm doing is just hanging out, putting that leg out, and we're going to work. I'll tell you that right now. We're not stopping for anybody. This is what we do. And I love doing this. Don't get me wrong. Some people, this might be work. Not to me. Not to me. I love doing this. I love doing the research. I love the speaking. At the last event, I actually got to do my first presentation at a conference type of, have a great night, Denise. It's going to be like, it was like my first time, my first time doing it. And I caught the bug, and I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm going to be here for a while. I didn't even plan on going this long tonight, but I wanted to make sure that everybody knows in the comments, if you haven't gotten your free ticket yet, I suggest you get on the list. Why would I get on the email list? Because when we do the paid events, which is going to be every so often, there will be coupons and offers to save money on the tickets being a part of that email list, right? It may be $5, it may be 50%. We don't know yet. But by purchasing your free ticket, you get on that list. But also, if you weren't aware of any events that were coming up, it'll also send out a email to you telling you, hey, look, you've got a free event tomorrow. Hey, look, it's going to be here. It's going to be there. Because what we're doing is we're starting to take these free events off of Facebook, off of YouTube, and scattering them all over the place. Because not only does it bring more people in to our community, but also because of the fact of what we're talking about has a censor value. They like to censor us. They love to cause issues. Just like tomorrow. Tomorrow is it's going to be cut in half, right? There's two separate spaces for the program because YouTube only allows you 12 hours. In case you run over 12 hours, the first half is going to be on one link and the second half is going to be on another link. So keep an eye out for that. You're going to see both of them, but keep an eye out for that. At 5:15, we're switching over to the second link, which is the second half of the show. We did that because we don't want to lose out on time. Time is of the essence, and there is only X amount of time to get all this information in. And when I tell you tomorrow has been something I've been waiting to do for a while. So I'm going to be hella excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, we're coming up on the 45-minute mark. So I don't want to stay on too long tonight. I just wanted to tell everybody what was happening tomorrow. So please, please, please make sure that you are all on the YouTube site at 11 a.m. tomorrow if you want to come to this event. I'm going to put it into the comments right now. Right? So this is where you'll find this free event right here. If you go there and you subscribe, it'll send you a notification, and we're going to have a special appearance from the Ghost Sisters are going to be there. Chicks and Spirits with Stay Spooky is going to be there. We're also going to be announcing again some of those participants of Stay Spooky are starting a new true crime podcast. We're going to be announcing a little bit more about that tomorrow and talking about it. So, there is a lot of stuff on the horizon for Full Spectrum Universe. And, if there's somebody out there who believes that they should have a show or has an idea of what they want to do for a show, contact me. I get my platform is all for that. I want to have different shows every night of the week. I want you to go to Full Spectrum Universe and say, okay, what do I want to watch? Do I want to watch Ancient Civilizations? Do I want to watch True Crime? Do I want to watch Paranormal? I want all of that. And trust me, in the future, there are some things on the horizon where you're actually going to be able to watch us. And I don't mean like on the computer. I mean like on TV to watch us. So I'm excited for that stuff. It's a little ways down the road, but we're working on it. We got stuff going on behind the scenes. I just want you to know that we're trying to innovate the way we do things. We're trying to bring a different perspective to the mainstream. So just be prepared and keep a lookout for us. My name's Rob Yox. This is Full Spectrum Universe. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.